Laura Scott, and this is my channel. I'm an assertive life coach. So today I want to talk to you about what is going on right now. Are we living through the apocalypse? And what do you guys think is really happening? I'm going to go over the definition, the original definition of what apocalypse means, and it may not be what you think. So I wanted to start out saying, how is everyone doing? There's been a lot lately, and I know that it can be really taxing on our nervous systems. So I kind of wanted to start out to do some nervous system regulation. So we're just going to do some deep breathing. So breathe with me. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1, 2. Breathe out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2. Breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so now that everyone's a little bit more relaxed and not as on edge, I wanted to talk to you about my topic tonight, which is the apocalypse. So obviously you guys can see everything that's going on right now. What happened in Maui, the hurricane that happened in California, the earthquake at the same time. And there's a hurricane currently going towards Florida. All these natural disasters that are happening and have been happening for a while, but there seem to be a lot lately, as well as other things there was a shooting today, and it seems like there's so much every single day, and it seems really taxing on the nervous system. And I wanted to kind of talk about what we might be going through and how maybe you can help heal, and I know it feels like things are out of your control, but there are some things that we can do for ourselves and then to help others, because we have to fill our cups first. So I wanted to go over the definition of apocalypse, and I found this really interesting thing on Wikipedia. It was talking about the original definition of the apocalypse, and it comes from the Greek word that means revelation or disclosure. So it is a literary genre in which a supernatural being reveals cosmic mysteries or the future to a human intermediary. So I thought that was really interesting, especially what's going on with all of the UFO disclosure and all of that kind of stuff. I feel like people are kind of, trying to figure out what's going on. They have this certain view of their worlds. It's very narrow view, and I think people like me that have always been interested in UFOs and aliens, in spirituality and supernatural, in understanding that we're going through an awakening. I've kind of always knew this since I was a little kid, that there was some sort of event that was going to take place within my lifetime that I was here for. And I know that may sound crazy to some people, but I just kind of had this knowing as a child that there was going to be a series of events, and I kind of knew that there was going to be a lot of natural disasters within them. But that doesn't necessarily mean, so a lot of people think that the apocalypse means the end of the world, that, there's going to be some very cataclysmic natural disaster or virus, or all of these things that are happening right now kind of to scare us all and put us into this fight or flight state. But I think in order to rise above it and get through these times, we have to kind of see beyond the veil, see what's really going on behind the curtain. And I believe that we're going to be told some very deep truths within the next coming months. I think that, it's kind of been escalating towards this point, and whether that definition, having supernatural beings, whether that's, aliens or whatever. I mean, I know people probably won't believe that is possible, but it could be a possibility with all of the talk and the things that they're revealing. I mean, they just revealed that they found crafts with alien bodies in them, like this, they've revealed this to the public now. And so I wouldn't take anything, like I would, I wouldn't put that past them to reveal it. And for maybe some sort of like unexplainable event, such as aliens or UFO type situation to happen. This isn't to like scare you or anything. This is just basically to explain maybe what's going on right now. So I wanted to also read this passage. I wrote a play when I was, this was in 2012, my last semester of college. And I wrote this play because there was a lot of talk in 2012, the Mayan prediction of the end of the world, the apocalypse. So I kind of had this knowing that it wasn't going to be the end of the world, that it was going to be the beginning of the end. So that's what I named the play. It was the beginning of the end, which doesn't mean the end of the world. It means the end of the way that we've been living, which kind of goes along similar to the definition of the apocalypse. It's the revealing. And I believe that we've been living a lie, and we've been fed lies for most of our lifetimes. And for centuries upon centuries, there have been hidden secrets and things that are not told to us, that the government knows, and that people in higher power, higher rank, they know. And I believe that some of this is going to be revealed to us. I don't believe all of it is going to be revealed, but I think that a lot of it can be revealed to us. So I'm going to read to you the opening monologue from the main character of my play. Just to give you a little context, the play was set in 2012. There are earthquakes going on. So I actually made almost the protagonist of my play as a natural disaster. So the protagonist, there were other characters that played along with it, but the actual the events that were happening were because of natural disasters that were happening around the world. So that kind of gives you a little bit of context. So I'm just going to read it. His name is Aaron. Okay. When I was born, the world was beginning to shake. An earthquake arose from the ground, surrounding the entire earth in a vibration of change. I was in the middle of this earthquake, and with one single cry, the earth began to tremor. Others like me were born to awaken this quake, but nobody knew. Nobody cared. I was born, awake to the world. With eyes filled with wonder, I took my first step. I knew things others never knew, wonderful things about the universe, about God, and about the spirit that lives within everyone. But others were born asleep. They needed to be shaken, woken subtly to the light. We came to cause this earthquake because the world needed it. The world needed to be healed through this vibration of earth. Sometimes change brings about fear in people's hearts. Fear is only an illusion, though. Fear is what you make it. I knew the future held great things for the world. Earthquakes can cause destruction, but they can also bring awareness. I knew what I had to do to help the world. The light in my soul grew stronger and stronger each day. This is my story. And so I wrote that not really knowing. I mean, at the time that I wrote it, there were a lot of earthquakes that were happening around the world. And there always have been. But I kind of got this idea because in many spiritual texts, including the Bible, they talk about the end of days, or the apocalypse, or the book of Revelations, and all of those kind of things point to natural disasters happening. And so as they're kind of amping up, a lot of people, are speculating, is this the book of Revelations? Is this is this what's happening? And for me, I like to kind of take bits and pieces from each different religion and each different culture and kind of come to a more understanding of what really might be happening. And for me, when I wrote that play, it was really about this phenomenon called indigo children. And it's these children that are basically like born with supernatural powers, I guess you would say. And they've basically come to help people awaken on the planet. And I know this may be woo-woo for some of you, but that's what I really truly believe, that we are in these times that I think many more people are coming forward and stepping into their power and their leadership in order to help humanity be able to understand what may be going on. And now, with natural disasters, like for me, when I heard about what happened on Maui, I cried. I was really, really upset. I felt really really connected to it. And I've never been to Hawaii, but my parents have. My parents have been to Lahaina town, and they've they really enjoyed the town. They loved like the culture and stuff there and the history. And to see that town completely decimated and all of the lives that were lost there, it's just unthinkable. And there's so much speculation about what's going on, and I've actually been following some people that are on the ground that actually can tell you like what's really happening on the ground versus like the media, what they tell you. And it's not what you think. Like, these people are not getting the supplies that they need. They're having to jump through hoops from FEMA and to be able to actually get the $700 that they were owed and to get the housing that they need. They're making them, they want them to show proof that they owned the house, which the paperwork was in their house that burned up. So stuff like that is just, absolutely ridiculous. And like having them jump through hoops and all these red tape. And I feel for the people. Like, I feel like, I've donated, but I feel like I want to do more. I wish that there was more that I could do. And the thing is, when all these things are happening, we may feel powerless. We may feel hopeless. We may feel like the world is just chaos, and we may want to retreat and just hide from the world and just shut off our light, or just completely ignore the news and just pretend it's not happening, which I don't believe is actually a good thing either. I think, there is a difference between being too focused on the negative and too focused on the news and watching the news constantly and feeling like doom and gloom and the world is just going to hell and there's nothing I can do about it. But there's a difference between that and really knowing and being aware of what's going on in the world, and understanding also that it is a part of the awakening, that that chaos and destruction and natural disasters are waking people up. And as much as that sounds really cruel, it sounds really cruel, because many people have died from these disasters. And I do also believe that there is a purpose to them as well. And I think that we can do our part to recognize that we're awakening on this planet, and the more that stuff happens in the outside world, the natural disasters, the things, it is bringing people together. As horrible as it is, things like sometimes it takes a natural disaster to really see people's strengths and to hear the hero stories and the people that were saved by random strangers and amazing feats of bravery that it took for them to rescue them. And I just heard a story from Lahaina, and it was this family that was escaping from the fires, and they weren't sure if they would be able to make it, and they saw an older couple walking along the road that were not walking very fast and not really able to get out, and they didn't have a car, they didn't have anything, and they were able to take them in their car, and they were able to escape the fires because these people literally picked them up and took them to safety. And it's amazing feats of bravery that really make us understand who we truly are at the core. We are kind and good people. We really do, when push comes to shove, want to help our fellow humans. We want to do nice things, and we will, when somebody is in danger, whether we know them or not, most people will go out of their way to help that person. That's just in our nature. That's what it means to be a human being. And I know that there are people out there that are cruel, that are sociopathic and psychopathic, that do not have the best interests in mind. And there are those type of people, but for the majority, I believe that a lot of people are really good at heart, and I think that they really want to help other human beings. So they always say, there's a Mr. Rogers quote, that you always look for the helpers, and whenever something bad happens, you always look for the helpers. And that's the hope that gives you hope, and that helps you to see the light within the darkness. And I think things have been happening for a long time, but I think things are escalating right now. And I know that may seem scary, and people are like, we've already been through so much in the past couple years. I can't take any more. I can't do I can't see anymore or do anymore. But there's almost like, a point where we become numb to it. And I know I have been too. And it really took, honestly, the Maui fires um, to really wake me up, I think, again, because was a part of me that all these bad things were happening, and I was just like, okay, it's just what it is. Like, it is what it is. And because it wasn't that I didn't care, because I'm highly empathic and I'm really sensitive to what's going on the planet. But it was just like I couldn't put myself, I couldn't become so empathic because it was hurting my soul. Like the way that everything was happening, it was too much and it was hurting my soul. So I ended up just, kind of numbing out a little bit of like what's going on. And the Maui fires happened, and I felt it. Like I really could put myself there, and it's really hard because so many people just want to, oh, I don't want to think about that. I'm not going to watch that video because that's going to make me cry, or I'm not going to. And it's a good thing to know your limits, to know, do I have the capacity to handle this right now? Am I in a good place in my life, or am I, in a place where I need to take care of myself? Because if you are in a place where you're completely drowning yourself and you can't take anymore, then, by all means, you don't need to be involved. But for those of us that have the capacity, I really encourage you to lean in, because as hard as it is to see, I really truly believe that that's what this time is. It's the pulling back of the veils, that we have to see all of the darkness in order to heal it, in order to get, to bring it to the light. And it may not be easy to look at. I know for me, I went to go see the Sound of Freedom, and it's for those of you who don't know, I have another video on that specifically, but it's about child trafficking. And it really puts a light on this hidden thing that is happening all over the world to children. And it is really, really upsetting. And but at the same time, having known it and understand it, I now have the heart and compassion to do something about it. And luckily there are organizations and stuff that are really going into these places that, somebody like me couldn't do. But I do believe that part of what we came here to do was to see the destruction and to witness it fully, and to really understand and have the capacity to be emotional about what is happening right now. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to say about the apocalypse. If you have any other insights about what your definition of the apocalypse is, or what you think may be going on the planet, feel free to write in the comments below. And if you want to watch other videos and stuff, I encourage you to really become kind of educated on what may be actually happening in Maui. And there are donations that you can give. I highly recommend the Maui Food Bank. I encourage you not to donate to FEMA or to the Red Cross, because I have heard that they are not necessarily giving the people the supplies that they need. So I would encourage you to find alternative sources. I know the Maui Food Bank is a really good one. And there are other things that you can do. If you're a healer, obviously sending healing energy to that place. I know that sounds like, you're not doing anything, but it really is important. And just, you know, filling your cup, making sure that in these times that may seem really scary, and you may feel like everything is falling apart, that you take time to really take care of yourself. Make sure that you're not being overly indulged in the negative, that you do, go out in nature. Nature is the most healing thing right now, and being able to just have little things in your life, a hobby or something that brings you joy, is really important in these times to really help you through them. And I know that, maybe this hasn't been affecting you, and maybe it's because it's not immediately affecting your area, or you don't know anyone. But I highly encourage you to kind of just look into what may be going on. And, if you have the capacity to watch some videos on it and to really start to understand that what the apocalypse really means, and that we are in strange times right now, but we will get through it, and we will become better for it, I believe. So I hope this video helped. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. I may be starting up EFT tapping videos. I used to do a tapping Tuesday, so I'm thinking about starting those up again. And then also, I wanted to announce that I just officially became a narcissist specialist, a certified narcissistic abuse specialist. So I'm like still getting the like what exactly it's called. Narcissist abuse specialist. So I am waiting to get the full certification. I still have a few case studies to do for the full certification. But once that certification is up and running, I will start taking new clients. So if you're interested in that, I will post some links below so you can learn more about the certification that I'm doing and stuff too. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much, and hope you guys are well. All right. Bye.